So your neighbor is harassing you and making all sorts of derogatory comments. You feel that this is perhaps related to your race, your place of origin, your sexual orientation, your disability, or perhaps you're in receipt of public assistance. You decide to commence a human rights action because, come on now, your rights have clearly been violated. How can someone get away with this type of behavior? I've got some good news for you and I've got some bad news for you. Let's first go with the good news. The good news is that yes, you may be able to proceed with your action through the Human Rights Tribunal if you and your neighbor are tenants and you live in the same building. Now, of course, there are many other requirements to be satisfied if you are to succeed with your action, such as making that factual link between the dispute with your neighbor and the respective code protected ground, such as some of the ones we mentioned earlier, your race, place of origin, sexual orientation. Now, let's talk about the bad news. The bad news is that in instances such as where you and your neighbor both own separate homes and are not occupants of the same building, your action through the Human Rights Tribunal will fail. The Human Rights Tribunal lacks jurisdiction by virtue of subsection 2.2 of the Human Rights Code. Now, I know you're perhaps saying to yourself, but this makes no sense. So my neighbor can just continue to harass me? My answer to this is no. You may have recourse elsewhere through another legal forum. For example, you may be able to successfully obtain a peace bond. But where the Human Rights Tribunal is concerned, there are some strict jurisdiction requirements that must be complied with.